Hi. So when this incredible honor was run past me, the first thing I said was, I can't. I'm Canadian. I can't go accept an icon award. Yet I'm also Canadian, so I said yes. And I quickly Googled the word icon. A painting of Jesus Christ. And another holy figure. Okay, I can't go. A person or thing regarded as a representative or a symbol of something. That I could get behind. There were a few others, but I can get behind the symbol of something. And I remember in the early 90s, a lot of people asked me, do you feel responsible? You know, you're in front of so many people, you're around this planet singing your goddamn guts out every night. Do you feel responsible for people? And I was so beleaguered and daunted at all of this that I said, no, I don't. I'm barely responsible for my own self. As time went on, and fame didn't wind up being the thing that I thought it would be. I was sold the bill of goods that perhaps some of us have been sold. I thought I would be sitting around a fireplace or a campfire with Sharon Stone and Johnny Depp. And just a lot of people petting my head and we'd be singing Kumbaya. But that wound up not being the case. And it was a slightly isolating experience. Fame is a very strange thing. It creates a social context that is not normal. It's not normal. I was a watcher my whole life. I was an observer of humans. I love the human condition. So all of a sudden, everyone's eyeballs turned toward me. And the irony, the real irony, is that I loved performing, but I was really, really terrified to perform and didn't like it at all. So my temperament, a lot of people talk about bravery and, you know, so much courage to be a woman in music and empowerment, and while I will always stand by that, I just want to salute the women who continue to go to work who are really, really sensitive and terrified and still go. That's me. I also want to acknowledge all the women that inspired me to sing in the first place. Everyone from Etta James, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Olivia Newton-John, Carole King, Annie Lennox. So many women, some of whom I even reached out to during the wildness of the late 90s. And a lot of them said, what are you calling me for? I said, well, there's no handbook. I need your help. And they said, oh, okay, you'll be fine. So I imploded. I figure people in the public eye either explode or they implode or they just are extroverts. So if you're an extrovert, this is normal. I am not, although I can ham it up for sure. And I really wanted to be friends with all these artists who were touring at the same time as me. But it was, as Taylor mentioned, it was an unusual time of me playing with a lot of different gentleman bands. And it was challenging because if there was not going to be any sex or any romantic interaction, then they didn't know what to do with me. So they ignored me backstage. And I know a lot of the other women that were around me were just holding it together as well, and we were all just kind of keeping our eyes down, just to kind of survive it at the time. And I just want to acknowledge all the artists, all the female executives and producers and mixers and designers, masterers. My mouth is so dry. Does anyone have any water? You have water? Okay. Anybody? My husband. I just had a baby like 10 minutes ago. So I have to acknowledge my husband because I could not do what I'm doing and be able to unschool and have the amazing family that we have together without you. None of this is possible without support, specifically from my partner. And we've talked at great length about the idea that feminism and the feminist movement itself is a feminine movement. So yes, it's about all genders. It's about the femininity within us all and the qualities of the feminine, of being vulnerable, of being scared and still standing up and speaking, of doing what so many of the amazing, incredible women who are here tonight have done and continue to do tirelessly, quietly often. I think that's why it's so exciting to me to be perhaps known as being vulnerable as an artist. Because the more vulnerable I am, the more empowered I feel. I just feel like there's less of a lie to have to live up to, even though I'm scared as anyone else is. Then there was this one-dimensionalizing that would happen a lot, this reduction. Like, this girl, Alanis, is one thing. She's really, really angry. Okay. Then a few years later, she's very spiritual. Okay. And it just kept going. Then I was quirky. Then I was really dumb because of a malapropism. Then I was also, isn't she like 90? I was called an elephant man. I was loved and ignored and adored and hated, and then I was considered really hip, and then totally irrelevant, and then totally relevant again. And then I was considered a boss, and then a podcaster, and these roles and archetypes are within all of us, all the women in the room here, and all the women that I've worked with, everyone at my table. I just feel like these are all parts of us. And there was a period of time where I was told I could only be one thing. I had to stay in my lane, so to speak. And so I wanted to direct a video for a song called So Pure, and I was really excited about it. And a few people at the record company said, "You can't do that. That'll be a career killer for you." So the best part of evolution in terms of the industry for me is that now the multitudinous aspect of all of us women in the room is being welcomed, that we can be feminine and masculine, we can be scared and brazen, we can be articulate and just exhausted. To be a woman is to have diffuse awareness, so multitasking we can do in our sleep. I'm a little worried about our bodies because we are taking on so much, and yet we're still doing so much of the conventional, stereotypical things that women typically do, on top of all the things that we now know that we can do and we don't have to apologize for. Okay, I have to take a sip, sorry. I'm just really happy that this is a time where young women performers can do all things without being shamed for who they are, and they can dress. We can dress any way we want. We can speak any way we want. And we've always been able to, but now we do it without public shaming to some degree. And my dad told me when I was really little, he said, there's 3 ways people will feel about you no matter what you do. One is that people will love you and adore you. The other option is that people will hate you. And the other option is that they won't give a shit. So he said, just keep doing whatever you're doing, because no matter what you do, those are the 3 responses. So that was, thanks, Dad. So I'm just, thank you for this. Thank you for walking alongside me over the last many years. It's such a heady time right now. A lot of culmination happening. Working collaboratively, I think one of the greatest feminine qualities is the ability to work really well in a team setting and collaboratively, and it's just been a joy to do that more and more and more. Thank you, patriarchy, for crumbling and falling. Thank you to the brazen and the tender artists for continuing to be self-expressed in an industry that would at once want to hold you up and then just as easily and just as quickly turn away from you. To my younger self and to all women, I would say keep going, keep chronicling, keep expressing, keep asking for help, keep working together, keep setting boundaries, keep showing up, take naps when you can, and restore when you can. And thank you so much. This is really an honor to receive. Thank you.